So we need to start, and I think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps, kind of like a special edition. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, then do me a favor, hit like, smash, subscribe, so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is very important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. I guess you know, I have proven that I am number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's young, he's handsome, he's a prophet, he's a poet. They know it. I must be the greatest. I told the world.
And first things first, we need to go in and have a look at the level of market manipulation. So where are we now? We are with Bitcoin down 10%. I mean, what a day, what a day. I just came, I came from France because I was there seeing my kids, and I came back to the, lovely Ukraine. And then I just saw how the market was going down. 10% in one day is a lot, right? Especially when we're talking about that the volatility of Bitcoin has been less than what we have seen in the traditional stock markets, like, the S&P and Dow Jones. I mean, we're not even talking about the NASDAQ. Anyway, what else are we seeing here? We're seeing 15% to Ethereum. We are seeing 9% to Cardano at 36 on the dollar. And we're seeing Polkadot down 11% at $6.29. I mean, we're always at $6 with Polkadot. However, it is, again, we're looking at the 15 minutes. We will scale out. We're looking at the 15 minutes. Reason being is because they always move. I mean, the correlation within the cryptocurrency market is phenomenal, right? I mean, we have never seen anything like it. I mean, there's correlation a correlation of 0.99, which means, one is completely similar. Not so much to talk about there, right? We really see that it's amazing. Again, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin, because I think this is, what we look at. And I think, I assume I'm gonna deserve a reward for being the best technical analyst there is. Because here we're looking at the 7-day moving average and the weekly. And what has happened is, boom, we moved down again through the 7-day moving average, right? Now, I don't know if I've, said it or pointed it out enough. Spike up and down, spike up and down. Now, remember, we have put my purple line here. I do think, and we got to extend it a little bit. I do think that, this is the target line, right? I know that we're talking about 10 and 8 and whatever. And even if we should go below, no, we're not going to talk about below now, because I've been, at least, we have been predicting this for a long, long time. What is remarkable about today is that we have hit a new, let's say, a new 1-year low, right? The last low that we had was 17,000, which was in June, and now we're slightly below this. However, the fact that we are below the 7-day moving average, I don't know, are we going to see it move above? We are below it. Let's see where we're going to end the week. We will talk about that in a moment, where we think it's going to go. But what a drop, right? And let's look at Ethereum as well. And Ethereum, we can see it's also below the 7-day moving average. It spiked up through the 7-day moving average, and now it is below. Let's see how it's going to end the week. And then, yeah, I also don't, looking at the overall market, this you can all look at yourself, right? There's nothing new here. It's funny, right? Dogecoin now down in 7 days, 36%, down 22% in 24 hours. What a hit we have seen on the overall market. Everybody, you see, that's also, it is news that is worth really talking about. So we can see across the board, and there's nothing really good. Let's say about this downturn. I do want to go into the chit chat, because we could do lots of things to talk about, or let's say things that are important. And is it buy the dip? Is it a buy the dip thing? I don't know. I still think if we're going down to 12, but let's go in, and I want to see who's here. Let's see who is here. Hey. My beautiful queen, you are here. How are you doing? And we got Pennywise. Pennywise, I haven't seen you for a while, but thank you for stopping by. Kams, how are you doing? And we got Kyle Girard, I hope. Girard. What are your thoughts about BTC mimicking Amazon 2008 crash? Well, Kyle, I know that I know we have there's this other YouTube channel that always recommends his wife's website. I forgot what his name is. I think he does a fantastic job. I'm sure you will probably point it out. There's this it's obviously not Traders Reality, but there's one other, and he always compares Bitcoin with Amazon. I I like that he always does that. I think it's two different things, right? I think that Amazon, no. I mean, maybe there's some similarity with the charts, but I really can't. I can't really. I mean, that's not my philosophy with Amazon and BTC, but I think we are going to see, the third cycle. I think we are going to see ultimately Bitcoin going to 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, because I believe the fundamentals are there, and that's what we're going to talk about in a second. So what do you say, Jaws 758? Crash day is a good dollar cost averaging day. I think that's exactly right what you're saying, Josh. I think it's exactly right. And just before I want to say hello to all of you, but if there are coins that I do like, and the news that we had last week, right? It was also about Arweave. I mean Arweave, that was just amazing news that Arweave, they've been chosen as the decentralized storage for Instagram or for Meta, right? Let's just have a quick look at this. So when we go in here and we look at Arweave, it's down now 17%. But what I like, if we go in and look at it a 7-day, we can see it's almost down. Almost. It was a 10 prior to the announcement, and now we're at 11. I love it because I do feel that I got cheated out a little. I got cheated out to increase Betty's position in Arweave when it was announced that they were doing monkey business, that they're actually going to be used by Meta. So I think Arweave is a lovely thing, and 11, it's only 10% above the price it was before, as opposed to 17. So dollar cost. I'm gonna add certainly some Arweave. Just remember, everything I say and do here is not financial advice. You know that I don't know shit about crypto, right? I like S2K. You ask, are there a blood in the streets? Yes. I think we're getting there. And, it's not over until the fat lady sings. But we're going to go into that in a second, because there's blood in the street. When is there blood in the street? There's blood in the street when mainstream media is going to point it out. When mainstream media is going to say, oh, Bitcoin is at its all-time high and Bitcoin is fantastic and buy Bitcoin, usually Bitcoin is at its all-time high. That's when we sell. And when do we buy? Well, we buy when mainstream media really, really covering crypto news. When everybody thinks it's over. That's when there's blood on the street. Thank you so much for asking. That was great. Let me say, what do you say, Ashraf? Are you lovely, sexy-looking people? Okay, so let's go in and see Dennis here. Good to see you. Happy to you're here, Andrew for all. And yeah, that's it. Wall Street Bets is here too. They're doing monkey business. Okay. Obviously I've not prepared it 100%, so we're gonna go a little bit by together over the news. I'm gonna put myself here down in the corner. Here I am. What I wanted to point out, and I think this is important before we move on to this midterm election thing. I always say, when there's blood on the street, how do we know there's blood on the street? We know there's blood on the street when mainstream media is pointing certain things out. So we scroll in here to CNBC's, main page, homepage, first page. Obviously, the elections, they're doing their things. We got Elon Musk, of course. But then right there, we got Bitcoin briefly touches new lows. So it is main news. It's a main topic. That's good news for us. So what are they actually saying? So if you go in there and CNBC Crypto World, right? You see, CNBC, if you were an investor prior to 1718, you will probably recall that, CNBC did not have Crypto World, right? Yeah, they would speak about, a little bit about Bitcoin, a little bit about Ethereum and so on, but it was very, 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 very little. Now, I mean, crypto world, CNBC crypto world. You think they're going to do, you think mainstream media, the elite, the establishment who owns these mainstream medias, they would not point it out if it wasn't important. So what is it that I want to point out? Because I don't want to go into the details about the balance sheet. I mean, I hope you know it, and we all know it about balance sheet holding FTT and how CC, he tricked Sam and how he's going to take over FTX and all that. That is not for me to point out. What I would like to point out here. So we got CNBC pointing out what's going on. The funny thing is, Bitcoin briefly touches a new low for the year. FTX token plunges more than 75% in broad crypto sell-off. Yeah, we understand that. And then, a whole video about Sam and versus, CC. And I like that, you've seen this video, CNBC Crypto World. So they're going over what happened here. The crypto market tumbled and Bitcoin down, and then it's time to visit Taiwan too. Yeah, we might do that next time around, right when China is going to invade. I mean, I love it. It's time to visit Taiwan. It's also time to visit Ukraine. Anyway. So what they're writing here, those declines spread throughout the rest of the market, at one point even stealing steam from the stock market rally. This is important. This is important. Because what mainstream media is telling us, and telling you, and telling me, is that all of a sudden crypto could have a spillover on the stock market. Now that's almost unheard of. That's almost unheard of, right? Because, I mean, in mainstream media, the crypto would have an impact on the on traditional markets. No, what mainstream media is doing is that they're preparing in the individuals, traditional investors, that the future of finance is being built right in front of their eyes and is being built on the blockchain. So, everything here on CNBC and CNN, everything mainstream media, it is orchestrated, it's planned. Anyway, and then they go into, smaller crypto assets tied to Alameda. I will tell you, even the people that have heard about Bitcoin, heard about Solana, heard about Ethereum, and fucking never heard about Alameda. Anyway, so Sam Bankman-Fried suffered some big losses. The FTX token, the native token, and blah, 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 lost. So in crypto equities, Coinbase slid. And then they move on, and then the moves came after Bankman-Fried announced Twitter that Binance will buy FTX, and then you see the price, and that's about that what they are writing, and then a lot of mirrors about Celsius and errors, crisis, and so on. I did like what. Yeah, I want to go here and point this out. What is so important is that for two things, I do believe that in order to get the mass adoption and in order to really see the third cycle take off, we need to see the CBDC being implemented. Now, are we a fan of the CBDC, the central bank digital currency? We can talk about that. We are here to make money, right? So what mainstream media is actually, the message is that something happened within the crypto industry, but it is something that doesn't fundamentally has any impact on the future of finance. But on the other hand, it calls for regulation. That's what we're getting out of this. So it actually, but all this is, it's an isolated incident that we do not, remember, regulation is all about saving you and I, right? It's about saving the little man. So what is happening here is that it creates noise. Blockchain, crypto is good, but what is happening right now is not good, and we need to protect the little man. How do we protect the little man? Well, we do know that the Bank for International Settlements and the IMF and the Leicester SEC, they all know how to implement that, right? So what I see here, I see a hiccup right now where we are seeing that the market go down. We're spreading awareness, we're spreading attention about what's going on in the crypto scene. However, it gives all the authorities, including the Bank for International Settlements, and remember their managing director, August. Yeah, sleepy he is, right? It gives them a good reason to say why we need it. So I see this as a good I see this as good news, in fact, that it is on CNBC, and now how it's gonna be, between Sam and Binance, that remains to be seen. I think we should go in and have a little look at the prices, because where, as I've said many times, timing is really the most difficult thing, right? It seems that now that there has been an agreement that Binance is going to take over FTX and so on, you could say, yeah, okay, that could be good news. It's going to bounce. It's going to go up. Even if you look at FTX at the price right now, it's down. What is it? Down 75%, but it has recovered a little bit. But I mean, this is a very speculative thing. I mean, of course, it could go up and whatever. But I do think that for the hardcore crypto investors like us, like me, and I hope you too, we see it as a positive thing in the overall picture. But I do think it's going to have a spillover effect. And when I talk about a spillover effect, I think that we could see, some casual, what do you say? Casual hurt damage that might actually, I don't know if this is going to be the trigger to take us further down, but this story is not over. The story is not over, meaning that the story is not over, that it could potentially have further implication, or that could take us down to the 12,000. Remember, I do believe that we're going to see the 12,000 in probably the next 2 months, so I think we're not far away from being there. And yeah, that's about it. I want to see anybody in the chit chat, and then we go to the midterm elections and see if everybody wants to talk about that, because that's also important. And let's have a Bahama Mama on the way. Bahama Mama. Not so much Bahama Mama over this here, though, huh? Yeah. So we should also. Yeah, maybe it's better like that. Let me know what do you say. In 30%, Dorian is saying, in 30% of portfolio deployed already too much. 30% of what? If Binance, that's also a good question, and I don't know, if Binance acquires FTX, will it distract from Solana in favor of BNB? Casualties. There you go. Yeah, casualties. When it comes, no. I mean, if Solana is not an exchange, right? So if Binance acquires FTX, will it distract from Solana in favor? I don't see that connection as per se. I think the reason why Solana went down was because there was a quite big investment from Sam into Solana, and I think that the fear was that in order to that there was this fight against CC and Sam, at least verbally, that at around $22, I think that Sam, he said he will buy all coins back. I mean, he lied. I mean, I would say his credibility and his word is I don't know, it's not worth a lot. So I think the fact was that people were scared that in order to keep to that word of being able to buy back FTX or FTT token in 22, he probably would have needed to sell the Solana. I think that's why it went down. The difference is because Solana is a blockchain, right? And it's not an exchange. So I think there are different things. Anyway, this is what I think about Sam. He's a motherfucking clown. So, yeah, 30% deployed already too much in 30% of portfolio. Yeah, I mean, I understand that 30%, if you hold 30% of what? Of FTX, it's too much, or 30% exposure to crypto. It all depends at what point you get in, and we've been averaging in for quite a while now, so let's hope that soon it will turn around. But I do think 2023 is the year of the turnaround. Doesn't mean that 2023 is going to be new all-time highs. It's going to mean that 2023 is the year of the Web 3.0, and it will be the year where I don't know if we're going to see the low 12,009 the next month, or perhaps January, but That's how I see it. I do think that 2023 is going to be the turnaround, but I could be wrong. But hey, until now, I've never been wrong. So, any other questions? Let's see how many people are actually watching, and how many do we got? If we got more than 10, well, then I am happy. Happy as Larry. We got 24, so come on, give me some love, give me some hit, smash, likes, and subscribes. And if there are any more questions, let me know your thoughts. And let's go into the midterms. It's also interesting. It is interesting what's going on there. So what do we have here? It's actually funny because it's election night, right? So Republicans lock in early wins, but when you look at it here right now, it looks like Republicans, in order for the Senate, they got 40, and Democrats got 40. When it looks for the House, the Republicans have 119 and Democrats. Let's see. And do you guys think it's going to be rigged or not? Who will control the Senate? And I mean, very close, very close. All I wanna point out about all this, all about this election thing is, there we go. The Republicans on the way. I mean, I'm tired of old Uncle Joe, right? I mean, I think that he needs to, he needs to disappear. And I think, for what it's worth, the Democrats have not really done such a good thing. I mean, I really actually don't like this kind of politics. But the one thing that how does it have an impact when it comes to crypto? Well, we would hope if the war would stop, right? If the war would stop in Ukraine, that would be positive for the global economy, and then we could focus on global economy. Now, one thing is sure, if the Democrats are going to win, we know that it's just going to keep continuing. The U.S. is keep continuing supporting what's going on in Ukraine, and I don't think that that's a good thing for the economy. So the hope, from my point of view, is that if the Republicans, they would win, and perhaps even 2 years we could get Trump in, I think it would be better for peace. I mean, can you imagine? I never thought I would say that, but I'm a man that believes, I love peace and I believe in peace. And if we could get peace back and the world back on track, then I think it would be a better place. And then we could focus on the economy. Until we don't know, even if the Republicans are going to win, if they're, are they going to continue supporting this proxy war? Then we have to keep focusing on geopolitics, because it will have major impacts on the economy. And before we end, that's the last thing, and then I think we can stop this little stream of ours. Is I believe that the people, let's say establishment, the elite, or whatever you want to call them, they need the financial system they don't need it to implode. The financial monetary system is imploding by itself, but they need to, identify a reason for why it's imploding. And after that, they need to introduce a solution. That is why I do believe that this, geopolitical tension will continue, because they need to, point fingers at, those ugly cronies or the war, and say that it was not their fault. It was, these were the reasons for the, that's why the fiat system imploded. But now they can introduce the CBDC on the blockchain, and everyone is going to be happy. Here's for the CBDC. And that's all I got to say about this. So I'm finished. So I wish you all a fantastic evening or morning, or wherever you are. Thank you for watching. If you gave me a like, that was great. And I will see you tomorrow night. And stay strong. And don't forget, I love you all. Don't quit. Another thing, why I always put these little videos in the end about, motivation. It's more for me than it is for you. But one thing I can tell you is that I believe in every video that I show in the end, they motivate myself, and I hope they will do the same to you. So remember, no plan B. This is the future of making money on the blockchain.